lets us know that Jesus's roots were important. But not only these important men and heroes were important, but there were many important women and heroines that are directly connected to Jesus's roots and Jesus's genealogy. Sarah, the wife of Abraham, Rebekah, the wife of Isaac, Leah, the wife of Jacob. Your roots are important. In the Gospel of Matthew, it's unique how Matthew took some key biblical female heroines and highlighted them, especially in Jesus' genealogy. Tamar, Rahab, Ruth, and the wife of Uriah, Bathsheba. I believe that God is a God of second chance, and that Matthew documented Tamar, Rahab, Ruth, and Bathsheba in order to show how God orchestrates everything and how he pulls the strings and how God is the potter and we are the clay and we are molded and made after his own way. Remember, Tamar was seduced. She seduced her father-in-law. Tamar seduced her father-in-law. Remember, Rahab? She helped to save Joshua. But remember, at first, Rahab, she was a harlot. And then she was able to save Joshua and the spies. Remember Ruth? Who would have thought she surprisingly ended up marrying Boaz? And then remember Bathsheba, who had an adulterous relationship with King David. Tamar, Rahab, Ruth, Bathsheba, all tied to Jesus' roots. Your roots are important. Therefore, this past month of February was very, very important because it was Black History Month, which is very important because our roots are important. Your confidence and self-esteem are strengthened when you see someone like you and you see that they've done something great. That motivates you to also want to go out and do something great. When you recognize and you see that you came from a strong heritage of kings and queens and winners and contributors and doers and thinkers and change makers and survivors, then you emulate that same greatness to also want to become a great king and queen, winner, contributor, doer, thinker, change maker, survivor. Your roots are important. And Black History Month, last month in February, it was important because that's the time every year that we remember, appreciate, celebrate the contributions of excellence by outstanding Black Americans. And I'm just going to name a few that may be unfamiliar, but think about some of the things that they were able to do. Madam C.J. Walker invented Black cosmetic products and became America's first female self-made millionaire. George Washington Carver discovered nearly 300 products from the peanut. Lonnie George Johnson made the Super Soaker water gun. Leonard C. Bailey created the folding bed. Henry Blair made the seed planter and cotton planter. Sarah Boone created the ironing board. Otis Boykin developed the artificial heart pacemaker control unit. Marie Van Britten Brown developed a home security system. John Albert Burr developed the rotary blade lawnmower. Frederick McKinley Jones made the refrigerated truck system. Jan Moslinger created the shoe assembly machine. Garrett Morgan created the traffic light. He also created the gas mask called a smoke hood. Alexander Miles made the electric elevator doors that automatically open and close. Alice H. Parker developed the furnace for central heating. Walter Salmons created the hot comb. Alfred A. Crail developed the ice cream scoop. Thomas L. Jennings made dry cleaning process. Dr. Charles Drew created the first large-scale blood bank and blood plasma program during World War II. Then he started those blood mobiles. Chef George Crumb created Saratoga chips in New York, which became potato chips after a customer kept complaining that the French fries were too thick. So Chef George Crumb just kept cutting and cutting and cutting until he sliced those potatoes so thin until they were thin, and dipped them in that hot grease and created ta-da, Saratoga chips, which became potato chips. This all shows that these famous black heroes, these heroines, these inventors, these scientists, these scholars made the world a better place for all of us. They made contributions that have affected all of us. Their hard work helped all of us. This is why we recognize, appreciate, and celebrate their love of labor during Black History Month back in February. I think all of these outstanding Americans had faith over fear because they did something no one else had ever done. All of these outstanding African Americans took extra steps to take faith over fear. These exemplary African Americans did what no one else had previously done. These outstanding African Americans walked into the future to create what we never knew could actually be. These great American heroes and heroines are the ones that we recognize, and people like them, the ones that we appreciate, the ones that we celebrate. Their labor, their love, their steadfastness, their blood, sweat, and tears, their contributions to make America an even better place for all of us and for our children and grandchildren and the future. But it all took, and I'll say over and over again, faith over fear. It always takes that extra faith over fear to do something that no one else has ever done. It takes that extra faith over fear to take those extra steps that no one else was brave enough to do. It takes that extra faith over fear to walk into the future. It takes faith over fear to create what we never knew could actually be. I'd like to share more of my research that I've done over the past 10, 15 years on faith over fear. And it started back when I was in grad school completing my PhD in leadership, and I focused on crisis management. And what I found out is that a crisis can either make you or break you. And it was very interesting to me. And as I shared what I had found and my discoveries to friendly, folks who would listen to me and my family and colleagues, and people started saying, I'd love to read that, but the dissertation was too thick. So I shrunk it down and made it into a book that's easy to read. It's about crisis, but it also explains to you how you can make it through a crisis. Because remember, a crisis can either make you or break you. I'd love for you to get a copy of my book, Faith Over Fear, by Dr. Mabel Springfield Scott. That's Faith Over Fear by Dr. Mabel Springfield Scott. Just email me at drmables@gmail.com. That's drmables@gmail.com. And we'll be more than happy to send you the information on how you can get a copy of my book and how you can find out more about Faith Over Fear by Mabel Springfield Scott. Faith Over Fear. Email drmables@gmail.com. drmabels@gmail.com. Faith Over Fear. Faith Over Fear. Faith Over Fear. Thank you so much for joining us today. I've enjoyed the conversation. We look forward to seeing you next time on the radio. Keep us in your prayers, and we will certainly keep you in ours. And may the good Lord bless you real good. God bless and keep you. Enjoy a super fantabulous, wonderful week. This is Abel Mabel, your princess of poetry and praise, signing off with lots of love. Ta-ta. Love you. God bless you.